Brought to you by BlackMagic Design, the world's highest quality products for the feature film, post and broadcast industries. BlackMagicDesign.com, the Tonkawa Film Festival, celebrating short films from around the world. Tonkawafilmfestival.com. And by Dehancer. Use the promo code RABBIT to receive 10% off Dehancer products. Dehancer.com.
So yeah, this is going to be one of the major players, I think, come award season. This is Blue Moon. It was nominated for the Golden Bear at the Berlin Film Festival. Andrew Scott won the Silver Bear for Best Supporting Actor. That tells you a lot because this is what I call a Best Actor showcase. A movie that almost exists entirely to spotlight one performer. In this case, Ethan Hawke. He was previously nominated for an Oscar for Training Day, 25 years ago. He is angling hard for one this time. And I'd definitely say it's worthy of some serious consideration. On my personal list, I would say Michael B. Jordan and Leonardo DiCaprio are ahead of him, but he's a solid number 3, definitely worthy of a nomination from what I've seen so far. Ethan Hawke stars as Lorenz Hart. That's a name that you may or may not know, depending on how familiar you are with musical theater and the Great American Songbook and all that stuff. Lorenz Hart was the former writing partner with Richard Rodgers. Before there was Rodgers and Hammerstein, there was Rodgers and Hart. And Blue Moon was one of the biggest songs they wrote. It's been covered so many times. It's literally the theme song for Manchester City Football Club in England. It's had a huge legacy. This movie takes place almost entirely at Sardi's restaurant in the theater district, where they got all the caricatures on the wall. So it takes place in 1943 on the opening night of Oklahoma on Broadway at the St. James Theater. That was the first major musical with Rodgers and Hammerstein as a duo. Lorenz Hart watches it and is just so ticked off at its poppy banality that he leaves the theater and goes to the bar, where he basically spends the entire movie complaining to the bartender, played by Bobby Cannavale, doing some yeoman's work right there, complaining to Patrick Kennedy playing E.B. White. There's even like a cheeky moment where we imply that Lorenz Hart accidentally came up with the inspiration for Stuart Little. There's some fun to be had here. You gotta have these drinks because Hawke is chewing the scenery like the finest, tastiest bacon. Okay? He is just riffing for sometimes 10 minutes straight on the unfairness of the industry, the fact that his vices, cost him his career, his obsession with a young woman named Elizabeth, who's kind of his protege, played by Margaret Qualley, and trying to figure out if she actually has feelings for him. And if you've ever been friend-zoned, you know exactly where it's going. This is a film and a story about someone who was essentially left behind. We all know Rodgers and Hammerstein. That is the iconic duo of American theater. Lorenz Hart does not have that kind of legacy, despite writing things like Blue Moon, all these classic shows from the 20s and 30s. No one says Rodgers and Hart anymore. No one puts them together. So this is the spot for Ethan Hawke and Richard Linklater as the director to basically let him own the room one last time. And that's where using this as a Best Actor showcase actually works pretty well. We get the after party for the Oklahoma premiere. Andrew Scott comes in as Richard Rodgers, does a tremendous performance, basically trying to work the room, pretend to be humble, and offer support to his friend while also pushing him away. Hawke, he just leans into every moment to the point where you just kind of want to take a drink yourself to alleviate the stress in your own mind about how you just know this is not going to end well. spoilers, the film opens with him dying and then flashes back. I mean, we're not pulling any punches here. This takes place 80 plus years ago. We know he's not around anymore. It's like nothing is being revealed here. But it's the idea of, this was his last shot to basically be at his best, and it has to, by necessity, it has to come in the shadow of others. I think Ethan Hawke really sells this beautifully. Also, strong credit to the makeup team. You don't see Ethan Hawke. If you see Lorenz Hart in this movie, there are more scenes where he looks like Martin Short than Ethan Hawke. And the mannerisms are more in line with a Martin Short style of comedy at times. But Hawke just owns it. I mean, this is the kind of movie, again, it is pure Oscar bait. Don't pretend it isn't for a second, but it's very good Oscar bait. I always love Linklater movies where he leaves Texas. We all know his love affair with his home state, and those movies like Boyhood and others, those are good. Those are really good films. But when he leaves Texas and tells a story about a person without the location being a part of it, that always enhances it to me. Honestly, the biggest knock I give to this film, the biggest demerit that it gets, is it's on a meta level, because this is a movie about someone who, again, in essence, hit his peak, and due to a combination of industry moves and his own shortcomings, fell off, got left behind, lost his legacy, lost his livelihood. And you would think that Linklater and the production would be sensitive to that kind of stuff, especially because it's going on right now for a lot of people. So rather than actually filming at Sardi's, they built Sardi's in Dublin and filmed in Ireland. To quote the late great Don Adams, missed it by that much. It's like, you gotta be aware of that. I mean, when that is the central theme of your film, you can't then commit that sin. So I do have to dock it a couple points for that, but as the actual piece of entertainment, as an actual showcase for Ethan Hawke to prove that he really has, come on as an actor in the last 20 years, this is really solid. And just for my own sour grapes, I hate Oklahoma too. Every complaint that Lorenz Hart has about Oklahoma, I have had. I know it's well written and well done and people love it, but every time I hear and two bits, or, farmer and the plowman and can't say no, like, all these things, I may be even, mixing in different shows, but like, apart from Oh, What a Beautiful Morning, I have never been able to stand Oklahoma. So maybe I'm internalizing this film a little bit too much, and maybe I'm kind of seeing it as a cautionary tale for my own career. But yeah, I Lorenz Hart, I felt you, buddy.
I do definitely want to catch it. I reviewed Linklater's other film this year, Nouvelle Vague, at New York. And, I assume that he filmed in Ireland because he was also maybe prepping or doing the other movie. And that was maybe easier to do on that's across the ocean. Also, you can't film in Sardi's. Like, that's impossible. There's never not people in Sardi's. And it's in Times Square. Like, it's impossible. It's right across the street from Schubert Alley. I've been by there like a million times. Small quibble. I definitely do want to see the movie. Also, for you musical theater heads out there, Lorenz Hart wrote the lyrics for Connecticut Yankee, Babes in Arms, Pal Joey. Like, he does have Boys from Syracuse. So he does have a career. And people who are in the know, they will say they will say Rodgers and Hart and Rodgers and Hammerstein. But Richard Rodgers, the composer, has a theater named after him, and Hart sadly does not.
This is the BTRP Media Network.